welcome to the part 2 of our series on pattern making. In the first part, we showed you how to tape up your shoe last correctly. In this part 2, we'll be showing you how to get the cardinal points of your shoe last. Very important points that you would need them before you can draw or make your pattern. You can draw your patterns. They are like guides to helping you understand your shoe last and what point means what. So here we've shown you, you've gotten the center point, you have the back, the back middle line. That's it, not mid center. You've gotten the middle line and you've gotten the back line. So right now we need to first of all find out what is the ball grade of the shoe last. What's the ball grade? The ball grade is the widest part of your shoe last, both on the lateral area and in the medial area. So we need to find out that important point, the widest part of your shoe last. Now, to do that, because we didn't mask this part of it, and we need to find out the ball grade of it, so we'll just take a masking tape, a little masking tape, and just imagine where it might be and mask that area. We need to draw to mask that area. Now, you can actually get both parts if you use something straight. Maybe this is a macet and you put it straight. Find that there is a part that bulges out, doesn't flush straight. Now we're trying to find out that part that bulges, and you can actually take your pencil and mark the part that bulges out the most. You repeat same for this side. But another easy way of making that is, this is your shoe last. Turn the back of your shoe last to you. Try to eyeball the part you think is sticking out the most. There is no exact pinpoint to read because there's no pinpoint to read, but you can see it, you can imagine it, you can assume it, you can average it, you can average it. So if you turn your shoe last facing you this way, you look, find out which part of it is sticking out the most. I will take this point of it. Then if you do that, you also turn to the lateral area and try to find, that is why we have this masking tape to help you mark it. I will find the lateral side and the medial side of it that is sticking out the most. So when you get that, we are going to draw from that point on the medial side to the part on the lateral side. Those are your ball grade. Now, in most cases, it's usually not a straight line because, of course, the inner part of your shoe last and the outer part are not the same. So you use your your flexible tape and try to draw from that angle to the angle where it is. You do that. So we'll just do this. You draw. You can see the center point. I don't know if you can say, okay, yeah. Now, where both ball grade meets, this intersecting middle is called the center point. This is where it meets. It meets where the middle line and the ball grade line meets is called the center point. Most times when you want to make a shoe that has a tongue, most of the time you take it from that point. You can actually go lower, but it shouldn't be above it. And this center point is the elevation point of your shoe last. You can see that it flushes at this point, it begins to go up. So the center point actually shows you where the elevation of your shoe last started from. It's all flushed this way, then gets to the center point and start elevating. I hope you get that. Now, we have our ball grid line, and we have the center points. Now we are going to divide half. We're going to divide the ball grid line into two equal halves. This is using the centimeter area of the flexible tape. So we take it this way. Here I have, this is, I have 8 cm. Half of 8 cm is 4. This is half of 8 cm is 4. We divide it into two equal halves. So this is 4. So this is 4. We have 4 here. Now, this point is very important because it is from here we will get our facing line, part of our facing line. So the next thing we'll have to do right now is to get our standard last length. And to do that, we would take it from the back and pull it up through the front to the center, to the middle line. So right here I have 32.5. I have 32.5 cm. So we'll notice 32.5 cm. You write it down. Now this 32.5 cm that we got as standard last length, we need to get 20% of it, and 20% of that, what we need to do is that 32.5 times 20 divided by 100. Now if you do 32.5 times 20, it's going to give you 650, and if you divide 650 by 100, it's going to give you 6.5, and that is our standard heel height for this particular last. So from the bottom, I don't know if you understand what I said. Okay, I'll repeat it. I said our standard last length gave us 32.5. Now we need to divide, we need to get 20% of that length, that 32.5, and 20%, to calculate 20% of it, or 20% of any number, is that number times 20 divided by 100. So since we have 32.5, we're going to make it 32.5 times 20, which will give us 650. If we divide 650 by 100, it will give us 6.5, which means that for this particular last you're working with, the heel height is 6.5. So to get that, we would go from the bottom, from the feather edge at the bottom area, to get that 6.5, which brings us to this place. This is it. This is the 6.5. This is 6.5. Yeah, this is 6.5. Now, we've gotten our heel height, but there's another method I use to get my heel height. You can just place your index finger from the beginning of the last and get your heel height that way. It's still the same thing it gave to me. So if you place your index finger, well, some of you have very fat fingers, but basically if you place your index finger from the top, you just go ahead and get your heel height. It's average, it's almost the same thing. That is it. So we've gotten our heel height. Now we need to get our facing line Our facing line is from the heel height line to the middle of this line we have here, to the middle of the ball grid. We want to get our facing line. So we use our flexible tape. We go this way and that way and draw a straight line. This is what I've done. So we just go ahead and draw a straight line to meet that other point. So this is a straight line. You can see it. I don't know if it's visible. Yes, that's the line. From half of this ball grid point to the heel, we connect the two lines. So this is our facing line. Our facing line. Now, the last thing we need to get right now is our instep height. And to get our instep height, you divide, you get the total length from your heel height to the middle of the ball grid, the total length. So let's see what it is. We'll spin that using the centimeter area of it. Okay, this is it. To that point, okay, this is giving me 19.1. 19.1. So you notice 19.1. Now, you divide this 19.1 into 4 and take 3 portions of it. I'll repeat. You get the length of from the heel height to the half of the ball grid. Then we got 19.1. You are going to divide that 19.1 into 4. Now when you do that, you're going to get 4.7. 4.7. If you divide 19.1 by 4, it will give you 4.7 and some fraction. So we'll just take it as 4.7. Now, what we're saying is you should take that 4.7, take 3 portions of it. That means 4.7 times 3. You get the length of it. I'm repeating it. You get a point, you take it from, you try to get the length from the heel height to the facing line, the length of the facing line. So from the back heel, from the heel height to the middle of the ball grid, which is the long facing line, you'll measure it, the full length of it. We got 19.1. Now, that 19.1, divide it into 4 equal parts, then take 3 portions of it, which means that 19.1 divided by 4 will give you 4.7 and some fraction. Just knock off the fraction. Let's say 4.7. Now, that is divided into 4 equal halves. Now, we're saying that we need to take our 3 portions of that 4 equal halves. So what you're going to do is that 4.7, you times it by 3. If you times it by 3, it's going to give you 14.3. 14.3. Now you have to make out that 14.3 and get to that point. This is 14. This is my 0.3. 14.3. So what we're saying is, from here, which is the heel height, to this point we got here, half of the ball grid, we ruled the line and we got our facing line. This long line you see here is our facing line. Now we're trying to get the standard heel height of this shoe last. So what we did was we measured the length from here to here, it gave us 19.1. So we're saying that divide that 19.1 into 4 equal halves. Now, when we did that, we got 4.7. Now, we're saying, okay, we've got a 4.7. Now we need to take out 3 portions of it. 3/3, 3/4 of 9.1. 3/4 of it. So what we're going to do is, since we got 14.7, when you times it by 3, it will give you 14.3. So you're taking that 14.3 from here to here. This is our 14, and this is our 0.3. This is our 0.3. We got here, and we'll put that mark 0.3. So to get the standard heel height right now, you do a right angle. This is the right angle. You take it and do a right angle. I don't know if you're saying it. Okay. So we're going to just take that point, that 3 portion we got. We'll move it, and to get the heel height towards the heel height area, that's a right angle. We're making a right angle. So this is it. We'll just draw a line to read. This is our heel height for this last. You can see it. This is our heel height. But there's another way to get a heel height. Some people just go ahead and take 2 centimeters from the cone of the last. They take 2 centimeters to get their heel height. Some do 3. But let's see what happens. If we decide to take 2 centimeters from the cone as our heel height, let's see what it turns to. This is the cone. This is 2 cm. So basically it's almost the same thing as what we got with proper measurements. So averagely, I think I'll just tell us to maybe do 2 cm. Averagely, if the measurement is confusing you, but I think if you keep practicing it, it will help you in your shoe mix. So this is basically all the points. Now there's a final point. This point comes handy when you want to make Oxford shoes and shoes that have some kind of division at the back. That is, this like I said, it has its own purpose depending on the pattern you want to make. For example, if I want to make an Oxford shoes, for example, and you know Oxford has something that comes this way, what that does, what you're supposed to do is half of this, half of the center line, get half of the center line, half of the center line, 19.1 divided by 2. What is 19.1 divided by that? You get the middle of it. Okay, you get the middle of it. You divide 19.1 into 2, and whatever you get, the fraction, you get the middle of it, and draw that middle of it this way. You divide your center line into 2, so that when you are drawing, making an Oxford shoe, for example, and you start here, you want to go this way, you go here. This line eventually is what guides you. This middle line is what guides you on dropping your curve. You know, you go this way when you want to make an Oxford shoe. Starting from that center point we got, you can see the center point. It actually takes you there, and you make a curve, and you come to this point. At this, when you get to the middle of the facing line, it's at the middle of the facing line, you drop it down. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So that's basically all about getting your cardinal points for your shoe last. So every other pattern you want to make right now begins with, these lines are like guiding lines for you. Thank you very much. So we'll go to the part 3. which is designing a pattern using the with a guide from the cardinal points we've shown to you. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.